Technology in the construction industry evolves rapidly, faster than ever. But technology alone does not drive change. People do. Digital construction champions do. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Digital Construction Champions show. So today we have a very special guest, Mila Stanisavljevic from Aeon Innovation. So Mila, would you tell us something more about you? Like introduce yourself. Can you introduce yourself to audience? What is your current role in company? And if you have to describe in one sentence, what would you say about yourself and your profession?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for invitation. So describe a little bit myself shortly. So I'm Mila. I'm originally from Serbia, but currently I'm living in Munich, in Germany, and working as a senior data science in a company called Aeon Innovation. I'm in this company last 6 months. Before that, I was studying in Poland. So my career path was a little bit changing of countries, but was like amazing experience. I'm really passionate about digital technology and combining engineering things with digitalization. I think that nowadays it's a like good topic and really interesting and new one to explore. And yeah, in my free time, you can find me drinking coffee around city or hiking around Alps or somewhere in Serbia. So depends from the occasion and weather, of course.
Thank you very much. So I think we can close now block 1. Okay, welcome back to block 2, so-called career journey. So, Mila, how did you enter the construction or digital industry? In your case, more digital than construction, I would say.
Was overlap a little bit with the construction and digital. But yeah, my background is actually in mining and geology. I finished a university and faculty of mining and geology in Belgrade, in Serbia. And then after this university, after master studies, I felt like I don't have some practical experience, and I actually cannot bring some innovation into my future job. And then I decided to search for a PhD opportunity. I actually sent only 2 PhD applications, one in France and one in Poland, and somehow in Poland they accept me. So basically, I entered digital world via PhD, doing by learning. I had a huge project related to mining and digital things where I learned actually programming and how to build, for example, digital twin. And after these studies, I found out a job in one construction company where I was firstly working as a data scientist, and later on develop my career and gain more skills related to the digital technology.
So how typically looks one day of data scientist? Because I'm always trying to imagine, like you are receiving a lot of data and then analyzing and giving the conclusions, or how does it looks like one day of data scientist?
Oh, yeah, it's a bit chaotic. You're right. Yeah, sometimes I already have historical data, but sometimes I'm like receiving new data, which are typically on some cloud. Then if we are building algorithms, then we are like preparing firstly those data for we as a team, me and my coworkers. Preparing those data, like developing new anomaly detection algorithms, sometimes putting those algorithms on the database that automatically can trigger some checks algorithms. Then if we want to extract some knowledge, exact knowledge from those data, then we need to understand the data, transfer then data to the physical models, sometimes machine learning AI models, sometimes just simple regression algorithms. And if some management or whoever asking us, we are doing also demos, preparing presentation, making everything in details. Sometimes we are just building automatic dashboard who will like do everything for us. Like we have a process and you can see all the step by just clicking and getting reports. So yeah.
When you say algorithm, is it working in a way that it's recognizing the similarities and differences, anomalies as you mentioned?
Some simple algorithms, yes, you are like algorithms are learning from the past data and find out seasonality, for example, in a data. But sometimes algorithms need to do some classification or depends what we want. If we want, for example, to estimate how much some gas is produced from the some industrial site, then we need to adjust few algorithms in a pipeline to like get some from the raw data from the like measurement of temperature and pressure and some gas to the some one number basically.
Okay, that's interesting because I'm looking more data from database perspective, but you're operating with data, which means that you're one whole level above database operator and an analytical group that is analyzing the data from the as I said, that database.
Basically,
So
maybe I would
it
better
sounds
call
really,
it like algorithm developer than just pure data scientist.
yeah. So would you have some answer about what were your key milestones on your way to current position? Like the key moments of your life, no matter if they're private or business, but you know what made you up to the level where you are now?
Let's say maybe two milestones. First one, of course, when I finished this PhD and gained those all those knowledge, and it's opened me a door to like choose where I want to work actually. And the other key moment when I decided to move to Germany actually from Poland where I was last 5-6 years. Then I moved firstly to Berlin, then to Munich. But I think it was like good decision to move a little bit and explore different countries and also like projects.
So that means that we were neighbors because I'm in Berlin from 2015.
Yeah, somehow
So
neighbors, yes.
you didn't call me that you came to Berlin, so it's a pity. Okay, and did you have any mentor or champion who inspired you along the way, your career journey indeed?
Not actually mentor, of course, they were like supervisors and managers who were leading you over your path on the different projects on a different education level. But during all my path at the beginning of PhD, I met some colleagues who are doing the same things as I right now, just in another countries. And then we are in touch all the time and exchanging all the time ideas, learning from each other. What is new trend, what can be done, how can be done, and so on. So basically, not better to say not leader, but like more colleagues.
But do you have some kind of community where you're exchanging knowledge, some kind of international community, or you're on a level of speaking with friends and colleagues?
So yes, there are community in Berlin, for example, or also in Munich. It's a popular this Pi data community. There is separate Pi ladies and Pi robotics or something like that, where you go and typically someone from industry or from startup even give a speech about a specific topic, and then group discuss in a relaxed environment about topic. And that's also where you are actually learning. But attending also conferences all the time, it's a good point. Whenever there is opportunity, I like to go and attend scientific or industrial conference.
Okay. Would you like to add anything in this block, or we can close block 2?
We can go to the next one, yeah.
Okay, so see you in next in block 3. Okay, so welcome to block 3 called the projects and challenges. So Mila, what is which project or initiative do you consider your biggest success in your career?
Maybe project in Berlin at my previous job. We were working with the sensor and digital technology which we put on the drone. And then we had stockholders, big stockholders in Germany, chemical factories. And then we went with the drones to really measure and collect the data. And then on the top of that, develop algorithms.
Sorry, but what data you're talking about?
For example, from those chemical plants, we collect the greenhouse gas data, different sensors on board. That also was quite tricky because you need to first get permission from the state. Then you need to design your sensor system that it can work on the drone. You have a limitation with the weights and batteries and so on.
Data shoots as well.
Yes, exactly. Then you go back to your office, do manually those data, firstly adjustments, making calibrations of functions, anomaly detection, then combining together data set from the different sensors from the GPS and so on, and then making those algorithms to get real knowledge. And then you found out that industry actually use this knowledge and those data what you produce for them for their validation, because they also install some sensors on the ground which need to operate all the time, and they want to see what's the offset between our sensor system and their, and surprisingly was quite good. So it was amazing to see that somebody is really using your results in such a big industry.
I'll tell you my experience. We in a couple of companies like General Electric. I worked for General Electric by 2 months ago. So we offered service like a digital twin for free in case they accept our maintenance of the equipment they purchased from General Electric, of course. So digital twin comes as an extra service where if you are monitoring the maintenance, we need to monitor the data as well. You know, we cannot let anyone else to unattendedly deal with the data and everything. But my experience was that the company, I will not name the company who was the client, they rejected the digital twin because they told that they don't have people who can operate with the data and who can manage the database and the IoT data that is coming from field. Especially if they have some intervention, if they need to do something, technicians are not capable to deal with the digital data. They want to have PDFs or even better paper printed drawings. So this was big disappointment for me. And now here I hear that you had a totally opposite experience, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is really good.
That sometimes also happened that people are not willing to accept new technology in the new digital world. They just like old-fashioned things. Traditional one. On some projects, we were also making data let's call it anomaly detection manually, and then we set up the system which produce those reports automatically and send them, instead of digital twin, digital reality, we send them emails, please screenshot of the dashboard or something like that.
Wow.
But that's
so
also in that moment, I was at the beginning of my career, first or second year after finishing a PhD studies, and I felt, this is not really advanced. I mean, that's easy. You just set up the system and send an email. That's nothing special. But then you realize that people even don't like this yes. level of simple things, which is more to deal with people and their mindset than with technology.
Yeah, you're right. And simply, okay, I will not tell about mentality. this is another topic.
Always tricky, yes. That's I feel sometimes it's the hardest to deal with people.
Yeah, definitely. The technology is so simple, people are complicated. Their mindset, of course.
Sometimes, yes.
What was the toughest challenge in digital transformation in your company or projects you were working on? What did you find is the toughest? Is it what you mentioned, like the people and mindsets?
Yeah, let's say people and mindset. We had some project also to automatize some team and help them with the data quality. Team was working in a Excel and doing manual check row by row of data and how they are. And then we develop 1 million of algorithms for them to help them, of course, with discussion of them. And after 1 million of iteration and listening their advices. And at the end, they told us it's a more time consuming for them to learn technology and use it than to do it manually.
Now, I saw a very interesting cartoon showing two guys pushing the say car with some waste, with some heavy items, and instead of wheels, circular wheels, they had square wheels, and they were pushing up the hill. Very big effort. And there was a guy passing next to them, showing them, "Look, guys, you have a circular wheel. You can change it." And they told, "No, we are too busy now." So I think this is the situation where people are not willing to invest time in learning, because if you learn some new skill, you implement it, you will save the time that you invested in learning, plus you will be more efficient by end of life. So typically, you know, there is an issue, in my opinion, more about understanding what investments means. It's not a cost, it's investment, in my opinion, you know. And of course,
Exactly. Yeah.
willing to change. Okay, and the last question in this blog. So, what is your biggest lesson you learned from failure? Because yeah, we all had failures. I told many times my failures in previous episodes. So you don't have to name exactly what happened, but you can be descriptive and say what you have learned from the failure. Well, the biggest lesson, of course.
Maybe it's the biggest challenge to learn how to stay calm and understand by myself that failure is so normal and I need to like just repair it. Maybe this was like most challenge when you are super disappointed, but you need to continue to work somehow to deal with such a struggling. Not with technology, not with the team, but sometimes it's just not working because of different influence and different parameters, different occasions. But generally, it is how it is. So some decisions are not made by you.
Yeah, you're right. I know the guy who runs the company. He's from Belgrade, and his trick question for a job interview was to ask people, "What is your biggest failure?" So if people come with the answer, "I didn't make any mistakes," or "I don't have big failures," he tells them, "But that means that you haven't done anything in your life, because whoever works, you know, and does something, there are failures along our paths." So for example, when we started the Revit implementation in Belgrade, in Arup, I was working for Arup Belgrade 2007 to 2012. My biggest failure was that I didn't finish the project. I had to go back to previous technology because I didn't know how to close it. But this is the path where you need to learn. So I received the help from my colleague from Milan. He came to Belgrade to support me. And from that failure, I think I learned that in Intel where I worked, there was fearless innovation term, where even if you know that something will not work, you still go to innovation. So it's a kind of mindset, you know, that is.
Sometimes it's also good to try different approaches. If one is not working, then try to find something similar which you can implement in your infrastructure, and then see maybe it's a better solution than something what you previously thought it's a like solution.
That's right.
But of course, sometimes it takes a lot of time to do this and make it work.
That's right. Okay, so I think we're at the end of block 3. We can close it if you're fine with that.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so welcome to block 4, called How It Works. So Mila, stage is yours, and please introduce us some numbers and technology that will blow our minds.
Okay, maybe let's start with PhD at the beginning, PhD project at the beginning. So for me, sensor system, when I was a student in Belgrade, was something stationary. You put it somewhere and it stays there until somebody goes and replaces. But then when I came to Poland and start this European project, the idea was to make those sensors mobile, not like changing from one place to place, rather than put it on some moving vehicle like a car, drone, or some mobile robot, and go around and collect the data with this. And for me, it was wow, you are doing. I mean, I'm supposed to do something like this with some simple sensors, technology which is do not existing, and then you are combining how everything works, how you will connect the internet stream, how you will connect everything with database, how you will make, for example, map going live with you when you are moving, that you also have an enhanced screen and looking where you are going and how everything works. And for me, this infrastructure was, wow, that's really amazing. That's something what I want to do for a career. And then, yes, now after 5-6 years after this, this technology is still like quite new, quite popular in my field, and still it's like a lot of invention, and still it's blowing my mind when I see new robots, how they are combining with some sensors, whatever you need to measure, for example, in the industry or similarly, different user case and so on. Yeah, looks amazing.
So more in detail, because I also imagine, I don't know that you can put it on mobile devices. I still expected IoT devices to be stationary placed. And
So, for example, you put your GPS sensor, temperature sensor, and for example, this gas sensor which measure CO2 concentration or methane concentration every couple seconds. You connect them together into one platform and put them into the car. Of course, connect the inlet properly put the battery, properly connect with the some screen to follow up what's going on, and then you drive. While you're driving, you're like receiving a real signal in real time, or maybe like you have delay of the signal like couple seconds, but it's nothing actually. And then basically you are next to the some chimney which you need to like measure, see what's going on, collect the data, and later on develop algorithms on them, and you actually see in a screen what's going on right now. So it's not that you have a delay, you need to produce a report after 2 days, after 5 months. You have it right now, what's going on exactly at the place. So for me, this technology still, it's like mind-blowing, especially when they combine with nowadays those robots which are moving in indoor places. Like you have a like moving vehicle on the 4 wheels, put it into some industry site inside, put your sensors together, connect them, and you navigate from the door, and they are like going everywhere. Or even nowadays, there are like those autonomous path planning. You can like put in a system where you want to go and how you want to go, and you put your robot with whatever you need, and you're like collecting your data.
so you have traveling laboratory indeed, like it's
Something like that, yes. Sometimes it's also like that.
It's amazing, really. Well, lucky you to have opportunity to play with those toys. Okay, so thank you very much for your short story about how it works. So we are jumping now, closing block 4 and jumping to block 5. Thank you for joining Digital Construction Champions. Remember, technology alone does not change construction. People do, champions do. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and stay connected with our community. See you.